What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be learning how to sail any small single-handed sailboat. So this includes sunfish, snarks, mini fish, which is a more rare version of a sunfish, which is what I'm going to be sailing today. So just going to wade right in, down into the buoy. We got this thing tied on. So first thing, we're going to do a little bit of the tour of the boat so I can give you some basic terminology for when we're actually sailing. So starting at the front, this is the front of the boat is called a bow, and this is the bow handle. So your dagger board cord attaches to this, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. This is your mast. It holds the sail up. This is your halyard. This is what you use to pull the sail up. This is the boom. This is one of the two spars, and you use this. This is what you pull in and out to adjust the direction of the sail. Then this is your upper boom. We don't need to talk about that. So got your halyard. This is your gooseneck. This allows the sail to swivel from side to side. On this boat, the sail can swivel to 180 degrees and farther. The dagger board cord holds the dagger board down or up. So when you're reaching, which is a strategy when you're going, when you got your sail all the way trimmed in and you're sailing kind of downwind but not really, you're gonna want to lift that up to more speed, about to like right here. And here's your main sheet. This is the sheet that you use to adjust the trim of the sail. And yeah, a lot of line out right now because I left this sitting out every night. For some reason I should have taken the sail down, but you know, easier this morning. So we got the main sheet. You usually like to keep that nice and organized up on deck. So here's the cockpit. This is where you're generally going to be sitting unless you're going unless there's a lot of wind. You're going to want to be sitting up on the side right here so you can counter the weight of the sail and not flip. But generally you're going to be sitting down here. And this is a gear strap. You can put a paddle under that or something. And here's the baler. Currently my baler does not work, but I'm going to be getting one soon that works. It's not cheap, so subscribe. Here's the hook. This is used to hold the main sheet in easier. And yeah, coming towards the back of the boat, this is called the bridle. This allows this back of the main sheet to go from side to side. And yeah, so this unclips, reclips, and yeah, the tiller is this piece of wood right here. So the tiller connects to the rudder, and the rudder is used to steer the boat. And my boat has a tiller extension, so you can steer the boat from all the way up to about right here. So you can sit pretty much anywhere you want to on this boat, which is really nice. So this boat, I'm pretty sure it's legally rated for 2 people, but probably only want to be having about like 1 and maybe a little kid. So yeah. So here, back here, we have the rudder. This kicks up. Obviously, yeah, you're going to be steering the boat with this. This kicks up to keep it dry when you're not using it. Probably the most important part of the boat. And yeah. So up there, obviously, we have our sail. Yeah, that's about it. We're gonna get into setup next. How about that? All right, so we have the boat completely taken apart. So the first thing you're gonna want to do, you're gonna want to put the mast in the mast hole down in here. So have it ready inside of the gooseneck. Then you're just very light. You're just gonna pick it up put it down in the hole. Gravity will do the most of the work for you when you're putting it down in. And then you're gonna take the halyard, which you use to pull the sail up, and pull the whole thing up. And you're gonna wanna get as high as possible, because usually the person who owns the boat has it where it should be for the boat in particular. Like for the mini fish, you want it about 1.5 feet off of the deck, which gives you plenty of room to duck when you're tacking, but it still gives you optimal speed. So since the mini fish doesn't have a halyard eye, you got to tie some wacky knots to get the halyard on there and good. But you can also do the cleat hitch if you want to. So line organization is very important. So you're gonna want to take this, you're gonna want to roll it up, and then tuck it behind the halyard right here, so it won't go anywhere. Okay, so now we take the main sheet snap and grab the bridle and clip it on there. So we got the main sheet ready and the sail ready. So just got to make sure that line stays organized up there. Now you're gonna take the rudder, and so this is a pretty complicated part, so I'll probably make a separate video on more detailed than this. But you got your piece right here, you're gonna want to push up like that, and then just snap it right in. Sometimes it'll give you some problems, sometimes it'll be chill. There we go. Alright, so now you're gonna put your dagger board down in the slot and take your dagger board cord, and so I don't know if y'all can see this very well, but there's a little hole in the dagger board. You're gonna wanna put the line right through that, and then there we go. So you're gonna take it, pull it all the way through like this. So I have 2 different lines attached together for this, which is not good. But you're gonna wanna take it around in between the halyard and the boom right here. So not all of these boats have the ability to have a halyard line or dagger board line. They call it a shock cord, but not all of them have the ability to. But this boat does, so I set it up. So we're gonna take a square knot here, right over left and left over right, and cinch that down. Doesn't always want to cooperate first try because the lines are wet, but you know, make it cooperate. So just gotta run it through there. So tight. All right, so left over right, right over left. There we go, now it should stay. So now we have the ability to raise and lower the dagger board, and it'll stay there. So now we are fully set up, ready to go sailing later when we get some wind. Just gonna throw a quick example of other boats rigging. It's not gonna show you how to set it up because it's pretty much the same. But here's a older Snark sailboat recently redone by me and my grandfather. We have the main sheet snaps attached to the tiller instead of a bridle on this one, and there's a rudder pin instead of a rudder snap. So you're gonna you gotta have your main sheet in the boat. This boat leans a lot because of the sail is very heavy on this boat for some reason. Haven't figured out how to lighten that up yet. So the dagger board doesn't have a shock cord on this because there's nowhere to put one. It doesn't stay down either. But the main sheet and the halyard system are pretty much the same. So obviously you got your halyard tied right here, and it goes all the way up and pulls up the sail, of course. So yeah. And then on this boat there's a front deck, which is to prevent water. I feel like if I squish water against this, it's not going into the boat, so it deflects water from coming into the boat and turning this thing into a bathtub. But the nice thing about this boat is it's 100% foam, so no matter how much water it gets in it, it won't sink. It'll swamp, but it'll never go to the bottom of the lake. And then this is the equivalent to the bow handle. Yeah, pretty much about it for this sailboat that's different compared to the mini fish. So see you guys out on the water a little while later when we get some wind out here. Alright, so now that we're out here, we're going to take a look at a couple important things that you should have while sailing. So obviously, you should have your life jacket, your sailboat, and probably a water bottle, which I don't have today because it's just going for a short trip out. But I keep a dry bag on me. So I bring my phone out, but it's got a floating phone case, and unless you have this floating phone case, you probably should not bring it out. I keep it in a dry bag too to keep it dry, but still got a little wet in the dry bag. So I also bring my speakers so I can listen to some music while I'm out here. Yeah, that's about all you really need. Some people choose to bring a knife on high wind saily days, because when you flip, there's a small chance you could get tangled in a main sheet or somehow get tangled in a halyard, and you want to have a way to get out of that if you get in a really bad situation like that. So you might have to cut your way out. So we're just cruising at about 1/10 of a knot right now. There is basically no wind, so we're going to go through some more maneuvers. Alright, so attack is when you switch the side of the boom, the side of the boat that the boom is on. So you've got to steer the opposite direction that the wind's coming from, pull it in your main sheet, and then it'll usually push itself over like this. So now we've tacked, so now we're sailing the other way. Yeah, easy as that. Alright, it's a little later. We finally got some wind. So we have our dagger board all the way down. See, you can tell the sail is tight, and we've got the main sheet trimmed in a little bit. So at the angle we're at right now, I'm gonna take dagger board and put it half up so we can get a little more speed. So you can tell got a little bit of speed now, and wind's a little bit gusty, but we got a little bit of constant speed. So we're going. Yeah. So when you've got a high wind situation, you're gonna want to get up on the outer lip of the cockpit and lean out to try and prevent the boat from flipping in high winds, because high winds try to push the sail over unless you've got it all the way out. So you're going to want to lean out over the side. It's hard to do it right now because I might flip it, but you can lean out as far as you want and try to keep the boat right. if you fall out, the boat will usually, the tiller will turn and it'll just go in circles. So you're probably not going to lose your boat, especially if you're not like in the ocean or something. So we've got that. Pretty much all there is you need to know. So another position when you're sailing downwind, you're going to want to let your main sheet all the way out like this. So the boom is at a 45-degree angle. So now we're sailing directly downwind. And yeah, when you do this, you usually want to sit up at the front of the cockpit with your tiller extension and steer from up here. Yep. And then do another tack here. So you gotta pull on your main sheet, duck, let the boom go around you. So yeah, that's about all there is you need to know to sailing. I'll put it in right after this clip if there's anything else that you need to know. But other than that, thank you for watching, and subscribe, and have a great day. Also, please don't flip. Alright, so we managed to catch a little wind here. So the wind is coming from directly down lake. So we're gonna have the sail trimmed the exact direction that the wind's coming from. So we're moving, see? But when the wind kind of slows down a little bit, we're gonna do a capsize drill. So also, here's how you sit down in the cockpit. So now that we're moving the tiller this way is gonna turn you left. Moving the tiller this way is gonna turn you right. So got that down. So currently I have my dagger board all the way down, and it's just some easy, slow downwind sailing. Just cruising right now. So we've got that down. So we're gonna do a capsize drill. So whenever I take somebody that's never been out on my sailboat before, we always make sure to do a capsize drill. So when you're sailing in high winds, sometimes the boat will flip, which is no big deal because it's really easy to flip back over. So you're gonna wanna just flip your boat over intentionally, probably the first time you go out, and it's good to practice it at least like once a year probably. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that now. Forgot to mention, before you capsize, make sure your rudder is all the way down. It'll come important in a minute. So go ahead and run the capsize drill. So you're just gonna want to lean on the edge of the boat and just flip it over. Oh, the water's cold. Water's cold. Water's cold. So now the boat is in the water, or the sail is in the water, which means it's going to be really heavy. So if it gets real bad and you start to turtle, which is when you turn all the way over, you might need somebody to help you pick up the sail. So we're going to go ahead and go into the other side. So now we're looking at the bottom of the boat, and here's our dagger board. So what you're going to do, you're going to grab the dagger board, so now the sailboat's up, and yeah, easy as that. So now you just gotta climb back onto the boat. Yeah, easy as that.